This is Rummy's Corner.
Once upon a time not too long ago, Tyson Fury was the undefeated WBC and lineal world heavyweight champion, and Anthony Joshua was the unified IBF WBA WBO heavyweight champion. The expectation was that these two would meet in a highly anticipated showdown for undisputed heavyweight supremacy, but that didn't happen. Will Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua finally have their long-awaited showdown in 2025? The truth of the matter is, even though neither one of them is champion, and even though they are both past their best, with Joshua sporting a 6-4 record over his last 10, and Fury coming off back-to-back losses, it still represents a darn interesting matchup, and it would undoubtedly be a huge event. Perhaps still the most lucrative fight that could be made in all of boxing today. I tend to believe it will probably happen sooner than later this year. I suppose either one of them could be tempted to face the winner of Dubois-Parker if the right circumstances developed. But Fury-Joshua is potentially worth a whole lot of money for both guys. So if either one of them suffers any more setbacks, it may very well derail the whole damn thing. As it stands, in my opinion, the winner of Dubois-Parker is the fight that makes the most sense for Usyk right now. Although the Dubois-Parker winner might conceivably get a much bigger paying opportunity defending against Fury, or especially AJ. Assuming for argument's sake that the Dubois-Parker winner does indeed face Usyk, then a showdown between Fury and AJ easily makes the most sense for both of them. Assuming it happens, Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Who wins in 2025? It is a very difficult question to answer, and that is part of what makes a Fury-AJ fight so interesting. And even without any titles on the line, the fight still has lasting legacy implications for both guys, who have been at or near the top of the heavyweight division since the end of the Klitschko era. Vladimir Klitschko is one of several common opponents the two share, and that was inherently something that helped fuel the potential Fury-AJ showdown for years now. Fury was the one who brought an end to the Klitschko era, where Fury did an outstanding job neutralizing the potent and methodical offense of Dr. Steelhammer. Fury didn't do a whole lot offensively, but his herky-jerky, itchy-twitchy, elusive style made Vladimir reluctant to throw, and Fury was therefore able to dictate the terms of the fight to his liking, as he masterfully controlled the fighting range, something Vlad himself usually excelled at, but he was never able to get a beat on Fury's awkward rhythm. When AJ faced Klitschko a year and a half later, it was a far more competitive fight that had a far more decisive ending. It was a back-and-forth, hard-fought battle with Klitschko, one that saw Joshua drop Vladimir in round 5, and Vladimir returned the favor in round 6, and he seized momentum of the fight. AJ persevered, and slowly but surely, he battled his way back and scored the dramatic late-round stoppage. On one hand, Fury completely neutralized Vladimir without getting into any trouble, where Fury was in control and dictating the terms of the fight. But he did not do a whole lot on offense and won a 12-round decision. On the other hand, AJ fought a prolonged war against Klitschko that saw both men hit the canvas, and in the end Joshua stopped Klitschko inside the distance. The completely different nature of these two fights led to a lot of speculation about how a Fury versus Joshua showdown would play out. When Fury was in the midst of his rivalry with Deontay Wilder, AJ suffered a major setback at the hands of Andy Ruiz, where he was stopped and lost his unified championship. AJ avenged that loss with a lopsided unanimous decision win against an uninspired Ruiz, and after making one defense in his second reign, Alexander Usyk won back-to-back decisions against Joshua, and this represented the beginning of Usyk conquering the heavyweight division. AJ won 4 in a row after that, and in his most recent fight he was completely dominated and stopped by Daniel Dubois. Fury has only one victory since 2023, and he did not look particularly good in his win against Francis Ngannou, a man making his professional boxing debut. Fury even got dropped in that one, and in the end he scraped by with a razor-thin 10-round split decision. Then, like AJ before him, Fury lost back-to-back fights against Usyk, the first of which earned Usyk the unique distinction of becoming the first undisputed world heavyweight champion in the modern four-belt era. Usyk succeeded in what he set out to do. He conquered the heavyweight division in impressive style, and he is widely viewed as the greatest pound-for-pound boxer in the world today. So it used to be that Vladimir Klitschko was the main common opponent that helped amplify the narrative of who was the real heavyweight king, Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua. Now Usyk is the main common opponent that is helping to drive a different narrative. Who was second best from the era? Of course, Wilder was part of that original discussion too, and Daniel Dubois is making his mark now, although he wasn't really a part of the Fury-AJ Wilder era, as he is just coming into his own right now. There were other common opponents too. There was the aforementioned Ngannou, who gave Fury a very tough challenge, but AJ impressively blasted him away in 2 rounds. But still, Usyk is the one who beat each of these guys twice. And they both battled Usyk across 24 perplexing rounds, where they were each befuddled by the reigning heavyweight king. So Vlad was the main common opponent early in the Fury-AJ rivalry, and Usyk has become the main common opponent late in the rivalry. A rivalry that has only existed outside the ring and theoretically. And hopefully that will be remedied and the rivalry will culminate with an actual fight. The 48 rounds the two shared with Usyk have an interesting tale of their own. Usyk was mostly in control in both of his fights against AJ. To his credit, I thought AJ put forth a better effort in the rematch, but he was clearly outboxed by Usyk both times. Fury had more success than anyone had against Usyk during their first fight, but he was also battered around and badly hurt, which led to an official knockdown in round 9. In some ways, Fury may have done better in some areas in the rematch, and he may have been a bit more focused and disciplined in his approach, but he was never able to trouble Usyk the same way he had in their first go-around. AJ carries more punching power than Fury, and Fury is overall a bit more versatile than AJ. Both of them are slower than they used to be, with diminished reflexes, where I believe both are easier to hit than they used to be, especially Fury, who was once quite elusive. In that sense, AJ's superior firepower can definitely provide him with an edge. Fury has always been a bit of a loose cannon. He had problems with drugs and depression, and Fury is also very inconsistent, both in his preparations and his actual performances. Joshua is perhaps not as skilled and talented as Fury at his best, but AJ consistently enters the ring physically in top shape. In that light, with AJ having that big power, Fury always being unpredictable and inconsistent, and Fury having many more holes in his defense these days, a strong case can be made that AJ will beat Fury if the fight happens this year. While AJ always shows up in top physical shape, however, his confidence has always seemingly been a bigger issue, dating at least as far back as his loss against Ruiz, perhaps even really dating back to his hard-earned win against Vlad. After losing his rematch against Usyk, AJ had a bit of a post-fight meltdown, and following that, he began rebuilding with the fights against Jermaine Franklin, and then he knocked out late replacement Robert Helenius in a fight where he had a little difficulty along the way. And then he beat Otto Wallin in a dominant effort where Wallin's corner stopped the fight, and then he had the sensational highlight reel knockout against Ngannou. It was 4 good wins in a row that seemed to really rebuild his confidence, especially those last 2 wins where he completely dominated guys who provided Fury with difficult fights. But all that newly built confidence came crashing down when he was systematically outgunned and destroyed by Daniel Dubois. To be sure, Fury's confidence probably took a big hit as well, following the poor effort against Ngannou and the back-to-back losses against Usyk. And some might say that AJ doesn't really have a confidence issue, but more an issue coping with well-timed big punches. Punches he never sees coming that throw him off where he can never properly recover. Fury does not hit as hard as Dubois. He maybe doesn't hit as hard as Ruiz. And he definitely is not as skilled and tricky as a master boxer like Usyk. All the same, I have to believe Fury would be highly motivated for a fight against AJ, and as such, combined with AJ coming off of such a devastating loss, if the fight happens this year, even if AJ gets a soft tune-up win beforehand, I favor Fury in this matchup if it happens this year. The truth is, Fury fought very well in both of his fights against Usyk. He was just up against someone better. And all things being equal, I still believe Fury of the Usyk rematch probably beats most, if not all, of the other top heavyweights out there today, AJ included. Although I do reserve the right to change my mind if and when we get any new developing information. So right now I favor Fury in this matchup, but what the hell do I know? I ain't exactly Quasimodo over here. What do you think? Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Who wins in 2025? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful night. This is Rummy's Corner.
You know, Quasimodo predicted all this.